We are moving into seventh dimension Earth. The Golden Age on Earth involves the evolution of ourselves and the planet. These are the highest teachings and insights that were shown to Elizabeth and reveal the essence of humanity's evolution and transformative process towards balance with nature and the cosmos. Elizabeth has been on a journey leading to a formal disclosure of the extraterrestrial issue. This is an opportunity to view one's own path and to understand how integrating the highest teachings attune one to oneness. Our physical experience on Earth continues to evolve as our DNA upgrades increase our consciousness and ability to forgive and to love. These truths will set us free. We are not alone in the universe. We share DNA with hundreds of thousands of species throughout our universe. Elizabeth is here to awaken this, as she has awakened it within herself. Things on Earth are moving faster and faster to completion. More and more people are waking up to the outlandish lies on the ground. Many reporting on the stories are not exactly telling it like it is, and this has to do with the cabal and the 13 families fighting over the planet. They do not have the highest knowledge. Hillary Clinton knows she will be indicted. There is a war going on within the 13 families using reverse technologies. There will be a moment when that is revealed and they will not be able to hide what they are doing. Archangel Michael has been, since the beginning on planet Earth, in charge of watching these battles going back to before Atlantis and protecting Earth's interests around such waging of war. They will have to give up their control, and any engagement they have will be countered within the office of the Christ. We are nearly at the end of duality on planet Earth. There will not be a fake alien invasion. There are others working for the Ashtra Command who are double agents. In other words, they work like spies there, so they have access to what is going on with the dark side. They use this information to counter the plans of the 13 families and the cabal. Some of these are extraterrestrials in government. There are millions conspiring in all walks of life to bring the plan to completion. It is our job to remain in divine neutrality and unconditional love. It is getting ugly out there with all of the accusations, and it is important to transcend that and not take sides. Anything you heard or saw which says otherwise, forget it. You only hold yourself back continuing to buy into the lies. Be calm. Be living love, be truth, be peace, be freedom, be justice, seasoned with divine wisdom, mercy and divine compassion in beauty together. We are receiving after many long years, our next mission. The teachings. Cosmic Ascension. Your star map home. The more time you put in on a daily basis, the better and faster you go. You know when you reach ascension because you have no more questions. Once you're ascended, it means you may use your Merkaba body to travel any place you like. This is your true nature. The true you. Your true self. Look at yourself. You are galactic once you ascend. No longer earthbound. It is in your hands to determine what is helpful and what is a hindrance. Nature and high beings have given you much knowledge, the problem is that there is not enough practice of the highest teachings. Find a teacher or guide and implement the teachings. Breaking free of your programming. Programming in the matrix has trained your mind and emotions to react in a certain way. You become triggered simply by the mere mention of certain concepts. Often you are boxed in and lack the needed confidence to let it all go. Other times you are clinging to core fear programs such as I'm not good enough, I must always be right, or nobody loves me. As we begin to dissolve egoic thoughts, we are able to break free of the programming. Nightly self-evaluations just before sleep are a must. Review your day and ask yourself if there was anything you could have done better? Anything you would like to amend? Make necessary adjustments and promise yourself you will never do it again. Keep your promise. Discipline your thoughts. Make right actions. Make right all of your relationships. Tackle your issues and resolve them peacefully. Be peace within. Managing the planetary crisis. Through raising the collective consciousness, especially on social media, we have made the old plan of the so-called New World Order obsolete. They have no power over us. They no longer control this planet. Together we bring divine government to Earth. A stipulation before we can accomplish this is a formal disclosure of the extraterrestrial issue. Divine government means we recognize ourselves as galactic citizens, sovereign aboriginal beings on Earth and not subjects of any royal crown. Not Draco's royalty, not Vatican royalty and not other royals. We also recognize all forms of abundance including free speech, the freedom to know, the freedom to share in print, peace on Earth, organic food and medicine and the freedom brought by no borders. We cannot have these things until we acknowledge human to human our galactic status and our connection to extraterrestrials engaging the human race. We manage the Earth crisis by denouncing false flags. We do not interact with false evidence appearing real. Emergencies, disasters, violence and war are an old military-industrial paradigm we set aside. We end control over our planet by the negative life forms and take the solutions into our own hands, disarming nuclear weapons, promoting advocates such as Assange, Manning, Greenwald and Snowden, raise frequencies working with the Earth grid, ley lines, and energy portals, strengthen Earth by evacuating the inner axis of dark energies, enlist advanced technologies, establish think tanks to solve the greater geopolitical issues such as superbugs, overpopulation, global warming, geoengineering, pollution, infrastructure failures, and education discrepancies. We learn to welcome all religions and cultures with tolerance and peace. Knowing we are responsible to create the new paradigm, we learn how to repair our DNA through raising consciousness and taking responsibility for our physical bodies. Life is a journey. There are many paths. Cosmic ascension means dealing with old pain, fears, terror and loss. We must simply forgive our past and detach from the old stories. The past is the past. We love it free. One by one, little by little we become detached. Long ago we fell into density and created a shadow side. This is not easy to understand. We lived our lives with free will choice to stay in the dark or move into the light. As our consciousness increases and our DNA is activated, we forgive our past and came together in oneness. There is no free will there. No karma, no duality. We raise our dimensional frequency to love. We show divine mercy and compassion to all life forms. We overcome psychic warfare, demonic forces, mind control and attack. We recognize a need to turn our attention to increase wisdom, decrease ignorance, research and study truth in all things. We reclaim freedom, creativity, imagination and return to source in harmony with planetary changes. We refuse to hide the truth. We align our resonant frequencies with regeneration of self and Earth as we create cosmic order. We become galactic citizens and learn to interact with our near neighbors off-planet. Connect to your highest self to implement the highest teachings. Learn to meditate. This can be done any place and any time to connect with your higher self and use your energy and power in a balanced way. This gives you a connection to your senses through your body. Meditation and connecting with your higher self helps contain anger and avert depression. Both of these can cause untold harm. Meditation can be helpful as a daily practice. There are moments when unexpected events take place and having the ability to connect with the counsel of your highest self can divert the destruction unchecked anger and depression may have. Awaken the guru within by learning to self-counsel. Have productive talks with your mind, convince yourself with healthy dialogue and carefully plan your next steps in a joyful attitude. This way you function always in a happy mood and you are easy to manage. You are able to focus on and accomplish tasks. You have time to help others. You are productive and helpful. In this state the life-giving powers of the universe flow through you and emanate from your heart, shining. Training your senses. The senses of listening, seeing and discrimination are the most important to develop. There are several other senses beyond the 5 senses of the physical body. These other senses are used to develop your inner gifts, also called siddhis. In meditation, close your eyes and bring a nature scene you are familiar with into your awareness. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of birds and water in the distance and the sparkle of sunlight on surfaces. By tuning in on the inner realms, your meditation can remove you from a stressful situation and restore balance. It is from this balance you may better cope with unforeseen events. The pursuit of happiness is your birthright. Often the 2 most common tools used to distort and confuse are sex and money. Love is like a spring constantly renewing itself. It is a never-ending energy. So is money a never-ending energy. The sun does not stop shining because your house is closed. Fresh air will not stop because you closed your windows. Each time you close yourself off to the highest energy you fall back. It is your job to keep the window open. You must, with all your senses, feel and know the joy, bliss and ecstasy of a sweet fragrance from the woods wafting on the wind, the expansive scene from a beautiful plateau in the desert, angelic harmonies heard on high and delectable treats from earthly delights never tasted before. In sensing fully with unquenchable thirst, life is a never-ending story engaging with the highest energy. Develop the positive mind. With strength of mind you can do anything. When you understand yourself, it is easy to understand another. Only with a loving energy can you spread happy vibrations. How will you survive when there is a sudden change? Will you react? Will you stay calm and make your own decision with inner peace? Sometimes things are very simple, before ego confuses the situation. Understand yourself is the key. Then you will have no problem. Then you can deal with anyone under any circumstances. Maintaining confidence. You want to help others by sharing your joy and happiness. The belief in yourself that what you are doing is wholesome and right is most important, for if you are filled with insecurities, you can be defeated easily. It is up to you to not allow anyone to confuse you, or create doubt. You need to know what is important for your own development, for your own growth and fulfillment. It is very important to have confidence in your own convictions. Try not to be influenced by negative outer forces, remarks or attitudes. Radiate your own positive spiritual energy like a flower radiates its fragrance. Abundance consciousness. 9 aspects of abundance: the birth of all creation, wealth and prosperity, knowledge, protection, guidance towards wisdom, stability, liberation, safeguards and the ultimate conquering of all demonic forces. Love is pure. It is a selfless attitude of devotion of the unfolding and blossoming of truth. Through love one can manifest to a higher level. Human beings need to love and be loved. They also need to transform selfish love into selfless love. It is through such transmutation of higher longing that one is able to attain more profound fulfillment and eventual enlightenment and liberation. Total manifestation of the teachings is the highest gift of love. If one truly believes in truth, one must change the quality of love through determination and self-discipline. It is not easy to grow through these tests. As one becomes more evolved, their challenges will be greater. Until the final summit is reached, the fall is just behind the next bend. Growth is the most precious gift one can acquire in life. At the same time, it can be very costly. Clearing the blocks within is a chance for real growth. At this moment one has reached a state of non-attachment and is therefore unaffected by delusions, desires and longings. In this consciousness nothing can bother you. To be able to assimilate and understand higher truths, these instincts must be purified. Every act you perform can become a reflection of faith and devotion. You will have found the way out of the confines of mind, ego and emotion. You will have discovered the way of bhakti. Love. Verily it is so. The fruits of purity dissolve ego. Ego is a deal maker, a manipulator. In its worst manifestation, it will even allow the rest of the human being to be destroyed rather than admit it is wrong. Changing a condition of the mind can kill the ego. Completely dissolving the ego is a condition of ascension. It is not the caveman days. Ego is no longer needed for survival. A distorted and corrupt ego will try to trip you up. Ego has conditioned the mind to think it cannot live without ego. In order to grow, a human being must dissolve this diseased ego by breaking through its barriers of false conditioning. One must identify with its immortal selfless self rather than this petty selfish self. One must not be tied to objects, ideas, beliefs or fantasies. One must forget the fruits of their labors. One must fight against discouragement. One must seek with eagerness and not falter when presented with confusion and difficulties. Rest in the sureness of mindfulness. Constant effort and self-discipline are a must. One must have a passion for growth and enlightenment. Through the tools of practice and austerity, the infinite will reveal itself in your life. When there are no more conditions, one will have come home. Watch your breath. Self-responsibility. Feel your life. Have a joyful attitude. Listen and learn. Read beautiful texts. Meditation in nature. Music. Find ways to relax. Let go of expectation. Embrace change. Learn from the past. Plan the future with care. Live in the present. Be flexible in all things. There is more. This is a good place to begin.